is also God, right? So you have the Trinitarian concept there. Hold on, you have the Trinitarian concept there, right? Now you have to understand, okay, how the Trinitarian taxonomy concept actually works. The one, this is one of the terms that's actually utilized even when you go into Greek philosophy, right? Greek philosophy, as well as like what Jesus was teaching, you have the one, the monad, right? Who actually gave birth. And I don't mean physically gave birth, I mean he begotten, he proceeded from him, right? You have the word, and then you also have the Holy Spirit that proceeded from in eternality, meaning there was no creation, these three existed in eternality, right? But it's a way of understanding the whole taxonomy of it.
Okay. So basically what you have just said is that you identified three entities, each of them being fully God, am I right?
No, they're not entities.
Well, entity means like the object we're talking about.
Okay, so
they are entities.
Let me just make it clear, right? They're not entities, meaning that they're separate. They're three different identities.
Oh, so now you're going against the creed, because the creed says they are separate.
No.
Do you know that?
No.
You're going against the creed.
No, they don't. They say that there is three co-essential.
No. You know,
essential.
No. You know what
meaning
they say?
they're not separate.
Listen.
They're distinct, but yet they're one.
Okay, if they're distinct, wait. If they're distinct, if they're distinct,
it's double.
If they're distinct, means what?
Let me make it make sense to you.
When we talk about distinction, that means there's a
Hashim,
difference.
this is good. It's
Very
not
quick. Regardless if you're saying they're all one
It
substance.
could be different, but it's
By the way,
Regardless if you're saying they're all one substance, there's still different.
Let's not even go there.
Let me give you an example.
No. We give you a minute. We give you a minute. Kalam, we give you a minute. Now give us a minute. So basically, you mentioned John 1:1.
Yep.
You mentioned about John 17:3, where it says about the Father being the only true God, and then you mentioned about the Holy Spirit. If you blaspheme against Him, that means you blaspheme God. Am I right?
Correct.
So you identified three different locations. You know, like do you remember?
locations.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, locations in three different places in the Bible.
Yeah.
Do you remember what was my question?
Yeah. And
What was my question?
You asked me the question about the one true God or something.
No, you didn't even remember the question. That means you're not listening.
You're
looking for an answer, but you're not
Jesus
listening.
said that there is only one true God.
Okay, so my question,
right?
once again, I repeat.
John 17. Let me just bring it up.
John 17:3 and 4.
Go ahead, Aaron.
The question that I asked you was very simple. Based on Jesus, when He was a man on earth, remember you said the Word became flesh?
Brother,
Yes?
can you
So this
open
word
for me,
which you
please?
believe to be God
Can you
became
open
flesh,
for
that
me?
means He became a human being. Now Jesus on earth, according to the Christians, is a perfect role model. So whatever He says is the perfect thing. So when Jesus Himself acknowledges that the one true God is the Father, what does it say about anyone who says other than that? You see what I mean? So either you are right or Jesus is right, because you both are saying the opposite. You're saying the Trinity is the right one. Jesus is saying the Unitarian belief in the one true God, meaning the Father, is the right one. You cannot both be right, because they are mutually exclusive.
You have to.
So what I'm saying is that, do you believe what Jesus says about the Father being the only and the one true God in John 17:3? Or should I believe the church fathers who brought up this 4th century doctrine, the creed, which says the Father is fully God, the Son is fully God, the Holy Spirit is fully God, they are not three gods but one God. Yes? And the Father is not the Son, which shows that they're distinct. That means they are not they are both different. The Father is not the Son, and the Son is not the Holy Spirit. Now this is a creed which was developed in the 4th century. However, should we believe the church fathers who came for nearly 350 years after Jesus, or should we believe the best role model for the Christians, i.e. the Messiah, Jesus Christ? He says very clearly, you the only one true God and Jesus Christ whom He sent. He makes a clear distinction between Himself and the one that He worships.
Is in the Old Testament?
I.e., no, that's in the New Testament, John 17. John 17 is the New Testament. And He says that Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ Himself. So He considers Himself as a Christ, and He considers the Father as the one true God. Now there is no ifs and buts about it. You can go all over the Bible, try to dig up the Trinity anywhere you want, because to me ultimately the Trinity is not that you identify the Father in one passage, the Holy Spirit in one passage, and Jesus in one passage, individually being God. The Trinity doesn't mean three. It means the three as one unit, as a unity. Now, if you can show me in the Bible where these three are one, yes, then yes, I can say you got a point. So unless you show me a verse in the Bible where it says the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. By the way, this was in 1 John 5:7, which ultimately was basically identified as a forgery. Yes, 1 John 5:7 is considered a forgery. It's been removed from all the Bibles that the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the three are one. The NIV scholars, they wrote in the footnote that this was not found in any manuscript, any Greek manuscript before the 14th century. What does that tell us? That after the 14th century, this was infiltrated in the Bible. Yes, it's something which is a forgery in the Bible, and that has now been removed. All the modern Bibles that you read today, they have removed this verse and they've replaced it with something else, which is not the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit are one. So the only verse that they have which clearly identifies the Trinity in the Bible has been now identified by the Christian scholars, not the Muslims by the way, as a forgery. So now you are left with either believing in the 4th century doctrine, or you believe in the statement of Jesus, who clearly stated that the only true God, that the one true God is who? The Father. And Jesus Christ is the one that He sent. Okay.
Right.
So now you either show me that the three are one, because they've showed me the three, that's fine. Okay? I give you that. You showed me the three, but that three doesn't mean Trinity.
I would
You have to show
argue
them.
he showed the three. I would argue he still hasn't shown.
They're just giving the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. For the sake of argument.
So no, but let's see yeah, for those people who don't know that I have actually shown the three already, right? Is that we made mention already in John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, right? And we can identify that. That says right at the beginning that the Word is God, right? That's one part of the Trinity. Okay. You also made mention. You made mention of 17, John 17, right? The Father, the monarch, right? Is God, right?
Are you going to repeat yourself again the same thing?
I have to because cameras just come. This camera's just come on, and he's saying I haven't
He's
shown
going
it.
to repeat himself after I've given him everything.
No, unfortunately, because he said it, and the camera may
My
not.
friend, the camera was here before. What are you on about?
That's this camera and that camera,
So
right?
if every time a new camera comes, you start.
Unfortunately, he made
You know something? I don't have time for this. Look,
he made mention of something. You want to run away? You can run away.
No, it's not called running
But
away.
No, he's made mention.
Seriously,
of
is that what you have been? Is that what you have been reduced to?
Hold on.
Run away?
Listen, we don't want to deceive the audience, right? As to say that I haven't presented the information. So at least now the information can be heard on camera, right? Then we also hold on.
So every time a new camera comes, you can repeat yourself.
I'm doing it specifically for COE. Yeah.
Oh, it's an important camera.
It's very important.
So why didn't you just say it like that? Why didn't you just say it like that?
You know, it's not just the camera, it's the movement, baby. It's the movement, baby. Anyway, so the third part, right, where he talks about the Holy Spirit, yeah, you can blaspheme the Son, you can blaspheme, you can talk about anything, but don't blaspheme the Holy Spirit because the Holy Spirit is God,
And
obviously,
my
right?
only one point, no, it doesn't mention anything about the Holy Spirit being
Being
God.
God, exactly.
All it mentions is not blaspheming, right? And if
Obviously,
wait,
no,
and I'm-
because I'm finishing, right? Because obviously
Sorry,
some
my
people
bad,
don't
my bad.
understand the languages that they speak, right? The term blaspheme is to mean speak derogatory or speak against God. It's only for God. You dig what I'm saying? So it implies that he's God. But if you don't, that's not clear.
We require linguistic evidence for that.
For blasphemy.
Yeah, to say that.
Okay, let me just do a dictionary, right? Don't complain, because we just do dictionary. I don't need to lie. Blasphemy.
What dictionary are you going to draw from? Oxford Dictionary.
If we don't understand the words that we're speaking,
No, but it's not about words. We're speaking,
Maybe
we're
you should
speaking-
look up the
we're
word
speaking
God
about-
as well.
We're speaking about,
in the dictionary.
we're speaking about linguistics, and we're speaking about.
You get all different answers in the
an
dictionary.
ancient-
impiously or reverently of God. Okay, cool. So we understand.
Now look
that-
up God. Now look up God.
So we understand that the Holy Spirit
Tell him,
here
look up God
is
now.
identified as God by Jesus. So it's either we sugar, or how can I put it? You sugar pick, like when you just speak like, oh yeah, I didn't take that verse, right?
I'm saying.
Hold on, you're just taking one verse and saying, listen, look, it says,
Can you get to the point?
only God, which it doesn't. It says
Less
the monarch,
drama,
which is the one
more
God, right?
points, please.
That's the title that's given to the Father.
That wasn't the point.
Okay, anyway, get to the point.
the
Because
point is,
ultimately you're going to show me three gods.
No, the point is, right? The point is you're sugar picking, right? You're just you're sugar picking. You just chosen one thing here to say, look, Jesus said, worship the one true God.
It's not in one place,
Right?
It's all over the Bible.
All over.
Hold on, which he's identifying as the Father, right?
Yes.
Saying, look, right there,
Believe in
he's
Jesus or believe in the Father?
right there, he's identifying the Father as the one true God, right? That's cool. worship the one true God, which is the Father. But it's not negating the fact that you have to worship the Word. You have to worship the Holy Spirit. That's not negating that fact.
It is.
Because in the other sentences, he's telling you that the Holy Spirit is God, and that you should not blaspheme.
But Kalam, listen. If Jesus believes that there is only, if the Jews and Jesus and the Christians and the Muslims and everyone believes that there is only one God, listen to this, only one God, and then Jesus tells you who that one true God is.
He's speaking of one part of the Trinity, which is the Father.
Now you know that's called the heresy of partialism.
No.
You don't even know these heresies, which you are now somehow admitting here.
No.
Okay, so listen. One part means partialism.
Hold on. You don't even understand, right? The word for God in the Hebrew language is what?
In Hebrew language,
it's Elohim, yeah? What is the word for God in Hebrew?
Oh, wait.
Please tell me, what's the word for God in Hebrew?
When you say Elohim,
please tell me, what's the word for God?
Wait. When you say Elohim, when you say...
You have the tetrad.
Yeah.
The word for God. That's what I'm asking.
No, when you say God...
Eli is the word. No, Eli is not the word for God.
Kalam, can I ask you, do false gods called Elohim as well?
Of course.
Okay, so the word for God, one true God is what? Not the false God, the one true God is what? Because in Islam is Allah. What is it in Hebrew?
There is not a one word for one true God.
So you see, that is where Islam is now standing better.
That's a phrase. One
Allah, you see
God
that?
is a phrase.
Kalam.
There is not one word to say one true God.
Kalam.
Does that make sense to you? You understand that?
Listen, in Islam, there's a term for false gods, like Ilah, which you can use for false God and true God as well. But there is one term called Allah, which can never be used for false gods. It's always used for the one almighty true God. Okay?
El.
Now,
In fact, El is a reference to God.
Okay, so anyways,
The word, when you read Jibreel, that is referring to God. When you read Mika'il, that is referring to God. So there's not Elohim, it's not the Elohim, like I said, is plural in fact. In linguistics.
and when you go into Genesis 1:1, right, the first word that you identify as the word God is the plural Elohim. You see what I'm saying?
But if you go to Hebrew...
Hold on, let me finish. So from the very beginning, it's identified there is a pluralism within inside of the one God. But within inside of the pluralism, there is actually unity. Right? Because your God is Ahad.
That's not a Jewish. That's not a Jewish understanding of the word.
If you go to the Shema Israel, it tells you the God is Ahad. Doesn't mean Wahid, meaning one. It means Ahad, meaning unified.
Ahad can also mean no.
That's what it means.
Ahad doesn't always mean unified. Are you telling me if we go to every reference of Ahad in the Bible, you're gonna find some sort of unification? Is that what you're saying?
My brother?
Is that what you're saying?
I've already said to you, it's a collective term to mean one. Right? That's what it means.
But wait,
that is one of it.
So anyways,
that is one of it.
This is only
let me show you something. Let me show you something, right?
Should we not believe? Listen, the Shema.
You asked me for the Trinity in the Bible.
No,
right?
you said the Shema. The Shema means the unity, not in terms of being one unit. Sorry, as being a unit of, or rather than the Unitarian God. Is that what you're saying? The Shema represents the Ahad in there, represents one as being Unitarian, not the what do you say? Not a Trinitarian or plurality of the unity. Every Jewish person, listen, every Jewish scholar, every Jewish rabbi that you speak to.
I don't think you've read
wait.
to me that statement.
Well, trust me, you go to any Jewish rabbi, and if they
Let's go to Tovia Singer.
No, you don't even have to. If you go to any Jewish rabbi, and if he tells you that this Ahad in the Shema means plurality of God, then you will be really disappointed.
Awesome. So let me show you something now, Because you asked me about
bring me
you asked me about the Trinity in the Bible, right? And I'm going to go straight to the Old Testament to pull up the Trinity, right?
The Trinity.
I'm going to go straight to the Old Testament.
So you are going to deny what Jesus said now?
What do you mean?
When Jesus says the only true God is who?
No.
What do you mean no? He just said, what do you mean? Who is the only true God according to Jesus?
It doesn't say only true God.
What?
It says the monarch, the one.
No, read it.
I know, I read it.
What did you read? What did you read?
I've read it.
You, the only true God.
No, that is.
You know this guy's in denial now?
Let me tell you something, right?
Kalam, you are the first person
I'm going to say something to you.
deny.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, right?
Are you going to read the verse or not?
Listen to me. I'm reading in Greek. It says monarch, right? Monarch means it's a title for God, meaning one.
Do you know Greek?
Yes, I know Greek.
You know Greek?
Yes, I know Greek.
Say what's your name in Greek.
I'm not interested in that.
You don't know. Just admit it.
I don't know.
Why do you guys
Snake.
lie when you don't know Greek?
I'm telling you, I've studied Greek.
So say it. Say what's your name in Greek.
And
No, ask me the question.
terminology is not actually
Ask me the question. What's your name in Greek? Ask me. Doesn't matter. Okay, say it in Koine.
It's Koine.
Okay, say it. By the way, it's Koine Greek.
Yeah.
So you don't think I don't know?
Cool. So anyways,
Go on. Speak to me in Greek. He doesn't know Greek, and he admits.
so anyways,
So you're saying the English translation is wrong?
I'm saying to you, it's giving you a translation of only.
Can you
Even
hold it for
yourself,
me?
it says
Can you hold it
one
for me a
true,
second?
and then you also say it's only,
Thank you.
because you know there is a distinction there.
No, it's not
Right?
distinction because
So hold
some
on, hold on.
verses,
This is what you got to do.
some translation.
Rewind this tape, and you see that you utilize only, and you also utilize one.
Some translations
So
say,
you understand that the translation
Kalam,
has
at
also
least
said
let me,
only, and
at
has
least let me
also
finish
said
what I'm
one.
saying.
Go ahead.
There are some
Thank you very
translations which
But
say
if you go straight to
only.
the Greek, you can see it says monad, meaning the one.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
So according to Jesus, who is that one?
It says the Father is the monad, the one true God. Yes. Yes.
I rest my case. I rest my
But
case.
hold on.
I think we have to go now.
Let's go get him.
This what you call low IQ.
See you,
right?
see you,
Low
see you,
IQ.
see you, see you,
Because
see you.
in the same
Ad
in the same
hominems
chapter-
after you
hold
lose?
on, hold on.
Wow.
In the same
You know, this is what Kalam has been reduced to.
Just
in
Did
the
you see
same
that?
chapter, the
He
word is
admitted the
God.
one true God is
The word is
the
God.
Father. Thank you.
So what? So what does that mean then?
Let's go. So on 17:3, where Jesus himself admits that the one true God is the Father. Yes? And then when I showed it to him, he admitted by himself. And then when I walk away, because the reason I walked away is because that is the point I was trying to make all this time. That the one true God, according to Jesus, and if Jesus is the true role model of the Christians, then he himself admits and states that the one true God is the Father. Now, if you're going to dispute that, then you are somehow saying that Jesus was wrong and I'm right. That means you yourself who are saying the Trinity is right. You are opposing what Jesus said. When Jesus was on earth, he never practiced or advocated the Trinity. Neither did he worship a Trinitarian God. Because as a human, then you don't expect him to be an atheist, I agree, but you expect him to be someone who believes in God. So now we should look at what Jesus himself worshipped, what Jesus himself believed in. And that, my dear friends, is worship of one God. And that, according to your own, by Jesus' own statement in John 7:3, is the Father. So Father is the highest, the ultimate, the almighty God, and everyone else who has been called God are not of that level. Because there is a Satan who is also referred to as Theos and as God. That doesn't make him God. There are false gods, true gods, semi-gods, demigods, all sorts of gods. So Kalam, who is not a Christian, is trying to preach Christianity. He makes he commits heresies like partialism, that is saying part of God. That's partialism. That's clear heresy. So anyway, Christians, I advise you, or I recommend, basically I suggest that you advise this guy Kalam not to represent your faith, because he's only mocking it and making it even worse. So he's not defending Christianity or Jesus, he's actually blaspheming it by indulging in heresies like partialism. He believes in the one true God.
Why he lie? He said he know Greek when he knows.
Yeah, he knows Greek. He says he knows Koine Greek. I gave him a test. Tell me what's my name. How do you say what's your name in Koine Greek? And the guy wouldn't answer. So obviously he doesn't know Koine Greek. He maybe found one word, and even that word actually agrees with me. That means one. Yes, that's what I've been telling you all along. One true God. And if there's any other God, they are not the true God. Very simple, very clear-cut statement from the Bible itself. So my friends, the Bible is something which is on the side of the Muslims, at least this part of it, that it believes, it advocates belief and worship of a Unitarian God and not the Trinitarian God.